Yo, what is up, everybody? Last week came out with a new video, NFL news, trade rumors, all that good stuff. And you guys smashed the support, the like button, the subscribe button. So here we are again. I kept my promise. Here we are. NFL Week 7, trade rumors, news. Starting off, big news announcement. Tua Tagovailoa was named the starter for the Miami Dolphins. This is a questionable move in my opinion. 2 weeks ago, they were blowing out the 49ers and didn't put him into play. When their coach was asked about it, he said there's no reason to because he would only be handing the ball off. Makes sense. The very next week, they're blowing out the Jets in the same situation, and they put him in. And he completes, 2 passes? All right. I mean, I guess they were good throws and 2 passes, whatever. They've got a bye week this week, and then they play the Rams at home. And it's been released that Tua is now going to be the starter for the Dolphins. Huh? Fitzmagic has been playing very well. We all know how streaky he is, and it looks like he's hot. So there's no way this happened unless Fitz suggested it himself or gave Brian Flores a resounding yes when asked about him starting. It's Tua time down in Miami, and welcome to the NFL. You're going against Aaron Donald in your first ever start. Next up, we have Le'Veon Bell starting his first game with the Kansas City Chiefs. This occurs Sunday at 4:25. It's an afternoon game against the Denver Broncos, an AFC West matchup. So me and Dan both talked. We have no idea how Le'Veon Bell is going to be utilized in that offense. It's not great for his case that Clyde Edwards-Helaire just ran for, 450 yards against the Bills and is basically why they won that big game. But everyone can agree on Coach Andy Reid's master-making play-calling ability. So he definitely will be used in the proper way, unlike New York, who they just didn't give him the right play calls. It just depends on how long he's on the field for. I think the Chiefs backup running back was Darrell Williams. Even Darrell Williams looked good in the Bills game. The Chiefs' offensive line honestly is really good. And I saw Darrell Williams getting a lot of open space in that game against Buffalo. So if Le'Veon Bell is in that situation, expect big things from him, especially if he's utilized in the passing game more than he was before. There's a big matchup this week, a meeting of 2 5-0 teams. We have the Tennessee Titans against the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is going to be a good one. This is debatably for the first seed in the AFC. I wouldn't have expected either of these teams to be in contention for the first seed bye. However, both of these teams have been looking pretty solid. The Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion, though, have had a very easy route to 5-0. They have won 2 pretty close games. The Eagles game was a little closer than it should have been, and they did destroy the Cleveland Browns, which was supposed to be a good game on paper, but the Steelers handled their business, which was impressive. However, the Steelers have yet to play a team, in my opinion, that has a strong chance of beating them, and that comes this week. If the Steelers can beat the Tennessee Titans right here, then it will prove to all NFL fans that they are a contender and will be able to contend with the Baltimore Ravens for the AFC North. Now, on the other hand, we have Tennessee Titans. The Titans somehow beat the Buffalo Bills in a good matchup. It wasn't even a good matchup. It was a good matchup, but they destroyed Buffalo. They won without a hint of losing. Then they played Deshawn Watson, and if they lost that coin toss in overtime, who knows what would have happened. Tennessee's offense has looked really good. They've been really good with the play action because people sell out on Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry just had a huge game against Houston. When Derrick Henry gets hot, GG. Now we got one of the best running backs in the league against one of the best run defenses in the league. This is a big matchup, and whoever wins this game, look out if you're the rest of the AFC. The NFC East continues to impress. Last place in the NFC Best has a better record than first team in the NFC Least. So the Cowboys are 2-4 now, and we have the Eagles in second place with 1-4-1. Oh my gosh. I don't know who watched Monday Night Football. Hopefully all of you did. But bro. Alright, I at the beginning of the season I told you all the Cardinals were going to be very, very good with DeAndre Hopkins, and they were. DeAndre Hopkins had 2 catches yesterday, and they still won 38-3 or something. I think the Cowboys got a touchdown late in the game, so it was 38-10. That game was over, before the second quarter even started. Kyler Murray, in my opinion, I joke around about it. I say Kyler Murray's greedy and selfish, but honestly, he makes the right play calls. Kyler Murray can just take over a game with his legs. We saw that happen yesterday. Everyone's been worried about Kenyon Drake because he hasn't had a predominant role in that offense yet, and Kenyon Drake showed up yesterday against the Cowboys, had a big run to seal the game off. When I say that, it was 31-3, but Kenyon Drake still looked impressive. I liked what the Cardinals did against the Cowboys, and Andy Dalton did not look good, so rip Cowboys fans. Raheem Mostert of the San Francisco 49ers is heading to IR with a high ankle sprain. So Mostert was injured earlier in the season, I think, too, because I know Jerick McKinnon was a starter earlier. McKinnon looked pretty solid. I mean, in Mostert's absence, he was doing pretty solid with the reception game, but definitely the loss of Raheem Mostert is going to hurt the 49ers. And honestly, I think this will ruin them because you're looking at the NFC best. The NFC West is just such a good division. The 49ers are in last right now, I think. Maybe tied. Yeah, I think they're in last. And it's just, it's going to be a brutal road to the playoffs if you're the 49ers. We could see 3 teams from that division make the playoffs. And honestly, I think that's what's going to happen. I think 3 teams from the NFC West will make the playoffs. The Eagles. Miles Sanders is out for 1 to 2 weeks. Zach Ertz is out 4 weeks or more. And the entire Eagles roster continues to die. First off, there were 2 wide open passes dropped in their game. Both would have been touchdowns. And then someone I've never even heard of caught a touchdown pass. Their 9th-string tight end or somebody. It's not looking good down in Philly for their future because they're on their way. They're way over the salary cap next year. An insider said there's a 0% chance of Alshon and Deshawn Jackson returning to the Eagles next year. So get used to having no wide receivers in Philly, I guess. I don't know. And there's trade rumors that Zach Ertz might be getting traded to Arizona. Speaking of trade rumors, here it is. Dwayne Haskins is on the trade block. Washington basically ruined the beginning of his career. I don't know what they were thinking. Basically, pretend he was on the New York Jets. I'm not sold on his talent, but whoever trades for him should expect for him to be much better than when he was in Washington. There's rumors Pittsburgh might trade for him. Not too many rumors, but honestly, it makes sense depending on how much longer Ben wants to play. Honestly, same thing with Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold has Deshaun Watson potential inside of him. He just needs a change of scenery and someone to help him develop. He did carry the Jets, I think, 1 or 2 years ago to a pretty solid record with not that much, weapons on offense. But obviously the Jets are tanking now. It looks like they're going to go for Trevor Lawrence in the draft. So Sam Darnold's going to be out of a job in a tough quarterback market. And lastly, both John Ross and David Njoku both requested trades. Now, David Njoku, he's a good tight end. He's nothing great. But honestly, John Ross has special speed ability. Whoever trades for John Ross, he's more of a track guy than a receiver. John Ross can burn defenses deep. And the reason John Ross requested a trade is because he's not getting enough playing time, he said, which makes sense. I mean, it's a tough wide receiver room. We have Tyler Boyd, A.J. Green, and T. Higgins. T. Higgins basically took over John Ross's role in that offense. And with T. Higgins having a couple big games, it's not looking great for John Ross down in Cincinnati. So who's going to get John Ross or David Njoku? All right, that's all the trade rumors and news for this week. Let me know, if you guys have any other news you want me to talk about, any other news, any updates on trades. And, keep up the support, subscribe, like this video. There we go.